Hello everyone, my name is Holly. I am so happy you're here. Today I'll be showing you all the books that I plan to read in February because I do have a pretty set reading plan, so I figured I'd tell you about it, and I am really excited for the books that I have picked. It shouldn't be any surprise that every single one of them is an adult fantasy. Most readers have goals to broaden their horizons when it comes to genres, while I'm over here like, nah, I know it works and we ain't straying from it. I have 4 to 5 books here that I will be prioritizing, and I know that is ambitious for me. It's a shorter month, and those couple days that we lose absolutely do make a difference when it comes to reading, so hopefully I can get these all finished and be able to review them for you. And I do say 4 to 5 because there are 2 I can't decide between. I might push one of them into March, but I'm not sure yet. I will still mention it here. So I have 3 arcs, 1 releasing in February, 2 in March, and I also have 2 backlist books because I don't only want to read upcoming releases this year. I would definitely like to put a dent into my old TBR. So it's definitely a nice like half and half. Half new, half old. It's great. But I'm going to start with the February release that I am really pumped for, and that is Rise of the Mages. This is a debut epic fantasy, and debuts have a very special place in my heart because it's like fresh meat. I can either make the author's day, or I can either be their worst nightmare. In all seriousness, this just has a lot of material that I love to see in fantasy. Like, this author and I could be best friends. Like, that's how cool everything sounds. Our main character wants to be a weapons master. Me too. Unfortunately, some circumstances leads to his brother becoming enslaved, and he teams up with an undercover mage to save him. So it sounds like an adventurous but deadly rescue mission that involves some much-deserved vengeance. There's also mention of a Mad King situation. So many people are excited about this. Maybe you are too, and if that's the case, I'm really excited to review this one for you. Just another great reason to subscribe, honestly, to this channel. So this is where I am caught in a conundrum because I don't think I can read both of these books I'm talking about next in February, unless I have like some strong, rocky reading montage happen. The first one is City of Dusk. This releases in March, and it's the first to a new dark fantasy trilogy called The Dark Gods. And I've been excited about this one ever since Orbit announced the acquisition for it back in February of last year, because I've read Scavenge the Stars by Tara Sim, and what I really loved about it was its writing and the way she wrote the world. So with this being adult, I can only see those positives going forward, or go even farther, I should say. So I just feel like I'm going to love this. It follows 4 heirs of 4 different noble houses, which I'm gonna hope there is like some beef between so we can get some drama. But they are each gifted with magic and have to, for whatever reason, team together to keep a war from erupting. I am really interested in seeing like what this bone and shadow magic entails. Like, is that what the main characters have when it talks about them being gifted, or is that something more like sinister? I don't know. Also, you can kind of see the city here on this cover, and it almost looks industrial, maybe like steampunk vibes. It's definitely dark as hell. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Mistborn, maybe. I'm probably so off on that, but that's what these TBR videos are for, just like vomiting my feelings. I'm so freaking looking forward to picking this one up. The other book I would love to get to, but if not, it'll be waiting for me next month, but man, do I want to read it. That is Wild and Wicked Things. This is another March release, late March actually, and early reviews for this are absolutely fantastic. And the way the author talks about it on Twitter has me feeling all kinds of ways. It's just really calling out to me, even more so when she put up freaking character art, and it reminds me of like a noir crime novel. It was instant love. It gives me like 10,000 Doors of January feelings, and not the way that they are similar, not at all, but I went into that book totally unaware of how much I was going to love it. And I just feel like that might happen again with this book. And under the radar, favorite, possibly. I know I'm going into it with very high expectations, especially since it mentions romance, and we all know how I feel about that. But if I stopped reading books with like any inkling of romance in them, I'd be cutting myself off of like 90% of books, and that's just not fun. Okay, anyways, this is pitched as Sapphic Gatsby with witches, and it follows Annie, who has recently lost her father, and she's managing his estate on a remote island, but suddenly she becomes interested in her neighbor, who may or may not be into witchcraft and the dark arts, and possibly murder. But she gets swept up into all of that forbidden territory that most definitely turns into an ooey-gooey romance. It has to. I want this to surprise the hell out of me, and it's just something I'm so in the mood for. The back here says, deliciously decadent and gothic, Wild and Wicked Things is a historical fantasy debut brimming with glamorous parties, dangerous magic, and murder. I am ready to gush round town about this. I also would really love to get to Never Die. If you saw my previous video, which showed you a ton of books I want to read in 2022, then you know I am on a mission this year to read most, if not all, of Rob J. Hayes' books, and I might as well start now. This is an Asian-inspired fantasy. It's book 1 in a series, and though they can all be read as standalones, that's still blasphemy to me. So we're clearly starting here. It basically follows a group of several heroes recruited for a nearly impossible mission. There are samurai, vengeful spirits, and it's supposedly loaded with action scenes. I love me a good group of characters on an adventure, and it very much sounds like a quest tale kind of story. And that plot element, it just really calls out to me. Also, a big bonus is that this book is on the shorter side. I think it's under 300 pages, and I've only been reading huge books so far this year, so this will be such a nice break, and knowing it'll end as like a complete story is extra bonus. I am pumped to finally get to this, and it might finally cause an avalanche of Rob J. Hayes' books in my next few monthly TBRs. Fingers crossed. And finally, I really want to start at least Beneath the Twisted Trees. This is the 4th book within the Song of Shattered Sands series, which I am slowly making my way through. I just recently finished the 3rd one, and you'll see that in my January wrap-up finally, but I just love this series so much, and I cannot wait to see how the story continues. The amount of twists and turns within these pages is insane, and even though they are very chunky books, I fly through them. It helps this author's writing is so fluid, and again, they are just page turners. That's really all I can say about this one, as it is deep within the series. There is a total of 7 books in this world, and I'm almost halfway through. So yeah, definitely at least starting this one this month. I think it might be the longest book in the series, nearing 600 pages. Oh yeah, it's like, I see 590. That would be intimidating as fork with any other book, but I already know that I'm going to love this. Okay, so those are all the books I would love to read in the month of February. Tell me below if you think I can do it. I'm sure one of the last ones that I talked about might be pushed a month back. I don't know, we'll see. Also, tell me in the comments what books you plan to read this month, because I would love to know. My next video should be my January wrap-up, so look forward to that. And until I meet again, happy reading.